Former U.S. President Donald Trump will host Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu at his Palm Beach resort in Florida this week. This comes as Netanyahu arrived in Washington on Monday for a multi-day visit. The meeting with Trump, which was originally slated for Wednesday, has been shifted to Friday. The Republican presidential candidate announced on Truth Social that the postponement comes following a request from the Israeli leader. Before that, Prime Minister Netanyahu is scheduled to address a joint session of the Congress on Wednesday. He will also meet President Joe Biden on Thursday and will separately meet Vice President Kamala Harris. Netanyahu's visit to the U.S. comes at a time when the Congress is deeply divided over his handling of the Gaza war. In fact, Harris is expected to take up the Gaza war during her meeting with the Israeli Prime Minister, asking him to stop the war in Gaza. As per standard protocol, the Vice President is supposed to preside over the Congress address of the Israeli leader. However, she is expected to miss the session over an official trip. The Senate next in line to fulfill the role was Patty Murray, who has decided to attend over the ceasefire deal between Israel and Hamas. This comes as various Democrats have announced the boycotting of the Congress session.
President, I come to the floor today as a strong supporter of the U.S.-Israel relationship to talk about why it was such a big mistake to invite Prime Minister Netanyahu to address a joint session of Congress, and why I will not attend his speech tomorrow.
Actually, Murray said that he will not attend the session. Groups of Democrat senators have confirmed that they will not attend the session and will instead spend that time to meet with the families of hostages. This comes as the bereaved families are staging protests across locations in Washington. Jewish protesters took to the Capitol Hill to demand a ceasefire. These protests are expected to continue and even become bigger until the Israeli Prime Minister's Congress address.
That's why I'm here today, protesting the genocide of the Palestinian people and calling on our government to enact an arms embargo on Israel and send no more weapons to the Israeli military.
Even at home in Tel Aviv, hundreds marched to the Defense Ministry on Tuesday, demanding for a ceasefire ahead of Prime Minister's Congress address.
Tomorrow, my Prime Minister, Benjamin Netanyahu, is going to have his speech in front of the Congress, and I'm really hopeful that tomorrow he's going to make us all feel whole again and tell us that the deal is taking place and that in the next week or two we are going to see our loved ones back with us.
Meanwhile, the Prime Minister met with families of hostages on Monday, where he hinted at the possibility of a truce deal.
We are determined to bring them all back. The conditions to bring them back are ripening, for the simple reason that we are putting very, very strong pressure on Hamas, and we are seeing a certain change. And I think that this change will grow, and we intend to do it. This is a war goal.
So protests are ongoing in Washington, D.C. and also in Tel Aviv. And for more on this, our correspondent Jody Cohen has sent us this report from Ra'anana.
Amid anti-Netanyahu protests and a vigil for the hostages held in Gaza, Netanyahu is preparing to address a joint session of Congress for a historic fourth time. While some Democrats have indicated that they won't attend, commentators are suggesting that for most lawmakers, attendance is likely to be a show of support for Israel. Netanyahu has said that his aims include pressing for all hostages held in Gaza to be freed. He also aims to build support for continuing to confront Hamas Hezbollah and other Iranian proxies in the region. The Prime Minister may talk about the new pact brokered by China between Hamas and the Palestinian Authority. Now, Israel has denounced this agreement with the US State Department, calling Hamas a terror group that should have no role in governing Palestinians. With meetings scheduled with President Biden, as well as with the Republican and Democrats presidential candidates, Netanyahu is seeking to show that the US and Israel would stand together no matter who the next president will be. This is Jodie Cohen for WION World as One.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.